What if the life you're chasing is actually a trap? Every day, millions of people wake up exhausted, anxious, and mentally drained. Not because they're weak, but because they're stuck in a system that constantly whispers the same message. Work more, earn more, buy more, become more. The Stoics warned about a version of this almost 2,000 years ago. Today, we call it the rat race. They would have called it something closer to slavery of the mind. Modern society teaches us that happiness is always ahead of us, in the next promotion, the next purchase, the next upgrade to our lifestyle. But every time you reach that next thing, the goal just moves again. Stoicism breaks that illusion completely. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, wrote constantly about a simple idea. Peace does not come from controlling the world outside you, but from controlling the world inside you. The Stoics divided life into two categories: things you control and things you don't. Your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, those are yours. Everything else, money, status, reputation, other people's opinions, those are not. And here's where most people get trapped. If your happiness depends on things you don't control, then your happiness is always fragile. It can be taken away at any moment by circumstances, people, or chance. If your self-worth depends on your salary, then your employer controls your emotional state. If your confidence depends on likes, followers, or approval, then strangers are quietly steering your life. That's not freedom. That's dependency dressed up as success. Another layer of the trap is reputation. Most people aren't just living their lives, they're performing them. Every decision gets filtered through one question: what will people think? People go into debt to look rich. They exhaust themselves trying to appear successful to people who are too busy doing the same thing. Seneca pointed out something deeply uncomfortable. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most of the pressure people feel doesn't come from life itself, but from the story they are constantly telling themselves about how they need to be seen. And that story never ends. The moment you stop chasing approval, something interesting happens. You become lighter. You stop performing. You stop over-explaining your choices. You stop living as a product designed for other people's judgment. Then there's modern busyness. Everyone is constantly occupied, constantly rushing, constantly overwhelmed. But very few people ever stop to ask if any of it actually matters. The Stoics had a simple habit. They would regularly ask themselves, is this necessary? Not, is this impressive? Not, will this make me look productive? But simply, does this actually matter? Because a life filled with unnecessary things still feels empty, even if it looks successful from the outside. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that life is short and uncertain, not to create anxiety, but to remove distraction. When you understand how limited your time is, you naturally become more selective with how you spend it. Less noise, less comparison, less chasing things that don't belong to you in the first place. Stoicism is often misunderstood as rejecting wealth or comfort, but that's not the point. The point is not dependence. You can have money, success, and comfort and still be free, but only if none of them define who you are. The Stoics practice something powerful, imagining loss in advance. Not to be negative, but to train emotional stability. Because anything external, your job, your possessions, your status, can disappear. What cannot be taken is your character and how you respond. So ask yourself honestly, if everything external was removed tomorrow, would you still know who you are? Most people spend their entire lives building an image, but very little time building themselves. And that is the real escape from the rat race. Not quitting life, not escaping society, but stepping out mentally from the need to be controlled by it. Freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is not needing anything outside you to feel whole. And maybe the real question is this: if all you had left tomorrow was your character, would you still consider yourself rich?